Daniel was a quiet man with kind eyes, though he lived with his wife, Emma, and their 2 children, Liam, 10, and Sophie, 7. Life was modest but good, grounded in routines and the warmth of shared laughter. That's when he saw it. Something black and unmoving on the grass beneath the tree. It was a crow, its wings awkwardly twisted, its feathers ruffled, and its beak half open, breathing shallowly. "Poor guy, what happened to you?" he murmured. "Emma," he called toward the house. "Come here, quick." Emma came running in her robe, wiping her hands on a dish towel. "Oh, my God," she whispered. "Is it dead?" "No, but barely hanging on," Daniel said. "We need to help it." "Help it, Daniel? It's a wild bird." "I know, but I can't just leave it like this." Emma sighed, used to his compassionate nature. "All right, bring him inside, but don't let the kids see yet." He stayed up late into the night, monitoring its condition. He searched the internet and made a few calls, eventually speaking to a local wildlife rehabilitator who confirmed what he suspected. The crow had suffered a mild electric shock and trauma, but could recover with care. Over the next few days, the crow, whom Sophie insisted on naming Shadow, began to show signs of life. Its eyes grew more alert, it flapped one wing weakly, and it started cawing faintly, especially when someone entered the room. "But we should release him once he's better." "Of course." One morning, Daniel opened the back door and gently carried him outside. "Go on," he said. "You're free now." Shadow looked around, blinking at the sky, then took off his wings, slicing through the air in slow, practiced strokes. The family watched silently, but to everyone's surprise, just minutes later, Shadow returned. He landed back on the roof of the house, looked down at them, and cawed loudly as if to say, "I'm home." From that day onward, Shadow lived outside, but never far from the Fosters. He greeted everyone in the morning with a series of cheerful caws and danced excitedly when Daniel came home from work. Daniel often joked, "I think he believes he's one of us now." One night, Liam fell off his bike and scraped his knee badly. While Daniel cleaned the wound, Shadow paced anxiously along the windowsill, tapping on the glass. When Liam finally came outside, Shadow gently touched his wing to Liam's shoulder. "He was worried about me," Liam said, beaming through tears. Emma began leaving bits of fruit and nuts out for him. Shadow, in return, brought gifts: twigs, shiny bottle caps, even a button with a smiley face. "He's thanking us," Sophie explained one morning. "This one's for Mommy." Word spread through Greenhill. People would visit just to catch a glimpse of the tame crow who had chosen a family over the sky. Children left drawings of him in Daniel's mailbox. A local paper even published a short article titled, "The Crow Who Never Left." Every morning, without fail, the black crow would perch on the railing of the deck, waiting for Daniel to come out with his coffee. As the sun broke the horizon, man and bird would sit together in silence, as if engaged in some private meditation. Emma would often joke, "You two look like old war buddies. Want me to bring out cigars and whiskey next time?" Daniel chuckled, but he knew what that time meant. Shadow wasn't just a bird anymore, he was family. One day, when Liam fell off his skateboard and lay dazed in the driveway, it was Shadow who first raised the alarm. The crow screeched wildly, flapping his wings in circles, until Emma came running out and found her son lying unconscious. After that incident, Liam insisted Shadow had saved his life, and no one in the family doubted it. Soon, the neighbors began to notice Shadow's loyalty and intelligence. Mrs. McCarthy, an elderly widow who lived 2 doors down, came by one morning holding a pie. "This is for the bird," she said with a warm smile. "He's been chasing squirrels off my bird feeder." Emma laughed. "He probably thinks he's the sheriff of the neighborhood." Children in the area began drawing chalk hearts on the sidewalk with the word "Shadow" in them. Teachers from the local elementary school asked if they could bring their students to meet the talking crow who greeted them when they passed the house. One rainy night, Daniel sat in the kitchen, exhausted and silently staring at the wall. A child he had tried to save in a car accident hadn't made it. He couldn't speak, couldn't explain the ache inside. That's when Shadow landed on the windowsill, peering inside with soft eyes. Then, he flew to the porch, scratched at the glass until Daniel opened the door. Without hesitation, Shadow hopped onto Daniel's arm, and then his shoulder resting there silently. It was the only comfort Daniel needed. By the time winter arrived, Shadow rarely left the porch. He slept under the eaves and only flew short distances. Yet, every morning, he still greeted Daniel. His claws were weaker, but his loyalty never faltered. The following spring, Shadow didn't appear one morning. Daniel searched the yard, the trees, the fences. Nothing. That evening, as the sun dipped behind the hills, Daniel found something on the table outside. It was a smooth stone, small and round, with a glint of silver in the center. Shadow's final gift. Emma started writing a blog called Life with Shadow that went viral, inspiring people across the world to see animals in a new light. And Daniel? He still had his morning coffee on the porch, still paused at the sound of crows, and every now and then, he'd feel a breeze or hear a sound, and swear that Shadow was still around. Some said it was just habit, others said it was memory, but Daniel knew the truth. Because some friendships aren't bound by species or time. Some never die, they just stay.